Gunner Edgington's pubic appearance. "Crabs! They've got crabs!" The cry runs through the serried rank. The theys were the crew of Monkey Tuck 2. It was the first mass outbreak of crabs in the battery. How proud we were of them! At last the label "Dirty Bastards" could be added to the battery honours. The only other mass outbreak of crabs was Gunner Neat in Bexhill. He told the MO he got them off a girl in Blackpool. "I brought them south for the sun, sir," he said. Among the crab-ridden is Gunner Edgington. Let him recount the grisly details. We hadn't had our clothes off for some considerable time, much less our underwear. And, as I said, a bath was something we only vaguely remembered from a long time ago. My hair was a matted lump. All we knew at the time was to get phone lines out and keep them going. All else was sleep and food, and a good deal of the latter was often scrounged from strange outfits we encountered while out on the line. Not surprisingly, we began to smell strongly, and then to scratch. The irritation became incessant, and something obviously had to be done. I don't think Dr. Bentley came over to us. It was just arranged by phone calls that we go over to our HQ. I think there must have been more than M2 team, for the crab-ridden were taken in 3-tonners to where some showers had been erected in the corner of a field. The showers were a Heath Robinson contraption mounted under a tin roof on angle-arm supports, but they were thoroughly efficient. Captain Bentley, keeping a distance, called instructions from the safety of his room on the upper floor of an adjacent building. "Strip off," he called to us. "Have a thorough wash down all over, as hot as you can possibly stand it." In the middle of the field, in full view of civilians and soldiers alike, we disported ourselves joyously under 4 very efficient jets of steam and nearly boiling water, to the accompaniment of screams, yells, and crackles. "Blimey, you can see the bloody things. You can see 'em moving on your skin, the little bastards." Sure enough, I could see my collection of the skin of my belly just above the short and curlies. Some 5 minutes, and Bentley calls out, "OK, that's enough. Get up here like lightning." Away we went in a tight bunch for the steps which led up the side of the building, these being only wide enough to permit one at a time. It meant some of us had to ease back to create a single-file rush up the stairs, all naked and freezing. Into a small bare room we thundered. Its only furniture, a bare table on which stood in a row 7 empty cigarette tins and a large daub of cotton wool alongside, but no sign of Captain Bentley, though. Looking round puzzled, we saw his grinning face peering round a distant door at the far end of the room. He had no wish to get near us. The legends, "Crabs can jump 6 feet," still lingered on. "Right, each man grab a tin and a blob of cotton wool. Dip the cotton wool in the tin and dab it generously all over the affected parts. Now, quickly!" He slammed the door in case any escaped. Looking in my tin, I saw a clear mauve liquid. The lads were all still chortling and crying in mock agony. "Unclean! Unclean!" and ringing imaginary warning handbells. The fluid was liberally applied, back, balls and bellies as well, not one of us having guessed what it was. It took about 10 to 15 seconds to act, then everyone's balls caught fire. It was raw alcohol. The first "Go, mate!" was rapidly echoing all around, followed by a growl of "Oh, God, bloody!" Faces were transfixed with pain and cross-eyed agony. They yelled, they screamed, they fell, they rolled, they jumped. They ran back and forth, they twisted, clattered into the walls, into each other, they fell over the table. At the height of this chaotic fandango, I was sat on the floor, knees drawn up, right hand fanning my wedding tackle, when, through the melee of flailing arms and legs and prancing bodies, I saw the inner door open slightly, and Bentley's face appeared in the narrow gap. "Merry Christmas," he said, and was gone. For Edgington to remember that occasion in such detail 35 years after the event is quite a feat of memory. Mind you, you don't get crabs every day, not even at the fishmonger's.